Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new charge move in the world of Pokemon Go, Normal Type TECHNOBLAST. As of this afternoon, Niantic secretly released Normal Type TECHNOBLAST as a legacy move for normal GENESECT. Since I do happen to have a normal GENESECT below 1500 CP, I figured I may as well spend the Elite TM to see if it is going to be worth the investment. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Normal Type TECHNOBLAST on GENESECT in action in the Summer Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a terrible lead Quagsire into Venusaur, I will immediately save switch into Shadow Beedrill, but my opponent responds with Crustle. Towards the second half of the Summer Cup, there's been a lot more people using Crustle, meaning that Shadow Beedrill is not nearly as good of a save switch as it was earlier on. Drill Run does do a ton of damage, but Crustle is able to fully farm down and leave with energy to fire at my Quagsire. Thankfully, Quagsire is very tanky, so I will be able to absorb whatever they throw at me and fully commit to the farm down. My goal is to hopefully leave with an Earthquake loaded, so that way I can either deal massive damage or get a shield advantage for my Genesect. Opponent is going to be bringing back in the Venusaur, and I'm going straight for the Earthquake. Earthquake, able to connect. I bring in Genesect, and in the back they have Vigoroth. Vigoroth able to hit for some pretty significant neutral damage with the counters going up against my Genesect. It's looking like I may need to double bait, so I farm up to the TECHNOBLAST, bait with the X-Scissor, and I get the shield. First bait was successful, and now I'm going for a second bait. Can we grab that second shield from Vigoroth? Yes, we do. All right, come on, Genesect. Genesect, definitely not the tankiest in the Great League. Can we reach the TECHNOBLAST? Genesect farming up, able to get to the Normal Type TECHNOBLAST. Genesect charging up, taking out the Vigoroth. Back in comes Venusaur. Venusaur is going to be firing off a Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant will KO. The question is, can Quagsire farm down? Yes, we can. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Quagsire into Ariados. This is a pretty nice lead for Quagsire because I'm able to hit for super effective damage with Stone Edge. Ariados is able to outpace, but thanks to Quagsire's tankiness, we tank the lunge no problem. Go for the Stone Edge, but my opponent makes a very nice catch, catching the Stone Edge onto their Obstagoon, and I'm going to respond with my Genesect. My goal is to massively overfarm in this matchup because I want to try and leave this matchup with energy if at all possible so I can try and TECHNOBLAST the Ariados. I farm up and fire off the X-Scissor just before they reach their move. X-Scissor gets the shield, and I'm going to fire off the second X-Scissor. This way, if they want to preserve the Goon, they have to commit the last shield, and they will. At this point, I believe I can shield up, Fury Cutter down, and reach the TECHNOBLAST versus the Ariados. Opponent switches in the Ariados. Genesect able to reach the TECHNOBLAST. Hello, Ariados. Goodbye, Ariados. Gets absolutely one shot. In the back, the opponent has Lickitung. I immediately switch into Quagsire. This way, I'm going to be able to outpace the Lickitung to the Power Whip and connect with the Earthquake, which is going to do a ton of damage. Lickitung is going to be able to overfarm and then fire off a move to take out Quagsire. They go for the Power Whip, which is going to guarantee the KO, and now it's all up to Shadow Beedrill. If at all possible, I do want to try and farm down so I can leave with a move to take out the Obstagoon. It's going to be close. They bring in the Obstagoon, and they're able to reach a last-second move. That is not good. And now, it's all up to Genesect. Can Genesect get to the X-Scissor? Yes, we can! X-Scissor is going to be taking down the Lickitung. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Quagsire into Qwilfish. This is a pretty decent matchup for Quagsire. I'm able to hit for super effective damage with the Mud Shots. And I can honestly just go straight Stone Edge in this matchup because even a Stone Edge is going to do a ton of damage against Qwilfish. Qwilfish fires off the Aqua Tail, and I'm going to fire back with the Stone Edge. Stone Edge does get the shield. Qwilfish, probably the glassiest mon on their team, so it makes sense that they're willing to commit shields to it. I'm just going to let this go. They are going to fire off another Aqua Tail, and I'm going to fire off the second Stone Edge. Let's see, do they want to commit the second shield to the Qwilfish? Yes, they do, so I decide to immediately save switch into the Genesect. Unfortunately, X-Scissor only does about 25% here, so I am going to need to fire off a TECHNOBLAST. This is a tough call to make. I decide to commit the second shield because Genesect, definitely not the tankiest. Here, I was a little worried that if I went for the X-Scissor, they would be able to reach an Aqua Tail, so I go straight for the TECHNOBLAST, and I'm able to take them out. In the back, they have Noctowl. Noctowl farming up, but GENESECT is going to be able to reach the TECHNOBLAST. TECHNOBLAST is going to do a ton of damage onto the Noctowl. GENESECT going for the X-Scissor, but they fire off a move just before I'm able to get there. They are 2 away from the second Sky Attack, so I'm going to wait my switch clock, and I'm going to need to make a catch. I bring in Beedrill, throw 2 poison jabs, switch, and I'm able to catch onto Quagsire. That's big. Now I just have to hope that whatever's in back, Shadow Beedrill can take on. They have Poliwrath in the back, and Poliwrath is able to reach a move. I have to hope they don't have Scald, but they do, and that is more than likely going to be game over because my Beedrill is just too low HP. I fire off the Sludge Bomb, I farm down the Poliwrath, Noctowl able to take me out, and we lose a heartbreaking game. Hopping into the next match, leading Quagsire into Abomasnow. I save switch into Shadow Beedrill, but it's a simultaneous save switch. Beedrill into Bubble Jellicent. Jellicent is a nightmare for my backline. I fire off the Drill Run, and they're going straight for the Shadow Ball. At this point, I think I'm just going to let Beedrill go, because I should be able to outpace the Jellicent with my Quagsire, and this is definitely Stone Edge range. So I bring in Quagsire, farming up, and I am able to outpace the Jellicent, fire off the Stone Edge. Stone Edge is going to be taking care of the Jellicent, and they decide to bring in their final Pokemon, which is Tapu Fini, and honestly, this is the alignment that I need. I need Tapu Fini on the Quagsire, so that way I can have the Genesect on the Abomasnow in the endgame. I'm going to fire off the Stone Edge bait, and I'm able to get a shield. Come on, Quagsire, get to the Earthquake, and I'm able to get there. Please let this land. Earthquake does get the final shield, and now it's 2 shielded Genesect versus the world. We know Genesect is very glassy, so I am going to be shielding up the Surf. I should be able to outpace. I go for the TECHNOBLAST, but they make a phenomenal catch, catching the TECHNOBLAST onto Abomasnow. Abomasnow farming up. Genesect able to farm down, and I should be able to win this match because Tapu Fini cannot get to 2 Surfs. I shield up the Surf. I am able to get to the TECHNOBLAST. TECHNOBLAST will be one-shotting the Tapu Fini, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, switching Quagsire into Vigoroth. Fairly neutral lead, but my opponent is going to immediately save switch into Pelipper. And honestly, I'm perfectly fine with this. With 2 bug types in the back, I absolutely want Quagsire to be taking out the flyer, so this works well for me. They're going to fire off a Weather Ball. That's totally fine. My Quagsire is able to tank 2 Weather Balls without having to expend a shield. So I am going to let this go. Weather Ball does get me very low, and I'm going to fire off the Stone Edge. I really need this to land. Stone Edge does land. In comes Beedrill, and I'm able to farm down. I know they have the Vigoroth. The question is, what is that final Pokemon going to be? And they actually bring in the Vigoroth. I'm going to fire off the Drill Run. This is going to do a lot of damage to the Vigoroth. Vigoroth decides to let it go, and they're going to be firing off a Body Slam. I still don't know what they have in the back, so I will commit the shield, and it's a Trevenant. And here's where I definitely miss having X-Scissor. I'm going to fire off the Sludge Bomb, hoping they decide to let it through, but they commit the shield. And then I realize my error, because they are able to farm me down. They have a ton of energy. I need to make a catch. In comes Genesect. I switch into the Quagsire, but they hold on to their energy. I can't get baited here. I let it go. It's the Shadow Ball, and that will be game over. Vigoroth counters me down, and I lose a close game. Hopping into the next match, leading Quagsire into Unova Stunfisk. This is an incredible lead. And even better, the Stunfisk is staying in, which means they could very well be weak in the back. They fire off the Mud Bomb. That does next to nothing. They save switch into Vigoroth, and I'm going straight for the Earthquake. Earthquake does get shielded, but shield advantage is quite nice in this situation. Vigoroth is going straight for the Body Slam. I do tank 1 Body Slam, and I'm not really at a risk of being farmed down, just because, of course, I am double resisting the counters. They're going to fire off a second Body Slam. My goal is to overfarm in this matchup quite a bit, because I do want to leave with energy to threaten that Unova Stunfisk when it does come back in. Drill Run actually gets the shield. Vigoroth trying to get all shields down if at all possible. I'm going to shield up the body slam, and then I'll be able to farm down. And if they bring back in the Unova Stunfisk, which they do not, they bring in a Pidgeot. Thank goodness for Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb does a ton of damage, and I bring in GENESECT. They bring back in the Unova Stunfisk, and I respond with Quagsire. A quick switch should hopefully mean that I'll be able to reach the Earthquake before they reach the next Mud Bomb. It's gonna be close, and I am able to win CMP. That's huge. Earthquake takes down the Stunfisk. Pidgeot going for the farm down. If they farm down, they win. Quagsire able to hang on with the last second Stone Edge, taking down the Pidgeot, and we clutch another win. Hopping into the next match, leading Quagsire into yet another Vigoroth. Same plan as before. I'm going to stay in, tank a Body Slam, fire off a move, and then safe switch into Shadow Beedrill in case that Vigoroth is covering for some flyers in the back. I'm going to fire off the Stone Edge here. Most Vigoroths have been shielding. This one decides not to. I'm going to stay in with Beedrill. They bank a move, but instead of being met with a flyer, I am again met with a Crustle. And my failure to adapt to the Crustle meta definitely caused me some pain in these sets because my poor Shadow Beedrill was just getting absolutely destroyed by them. Back in comes Quagsire. Even at this low of health, I do still tank an X-Scissor, so I am going to let that through and then try and reach a Stone Edge. And I'm just able to reach the Stone Edge before they reach the second X-Scissor. And now I have a lot to ask from my GENESECT. I need GENESECT to carry in the endgame. Vigoroth does have a lot of energy. I am going to commit the shield. They go for the Body Slam. In the back, they have Galvantula. There's only one win con. I'm going straight for the TECHNOBLAST. Do they respect it? Yes, they do. And it's game over. Incredible lead in the final match, Quagsire into Alolan Golem. My opponent is going to safe switch into Tropius. I'm going to farm up, switch, and catch a Leaf Blade onto my Shadow Beedrill. That's absolutely huge. The Air Slashes are hitting for super effective damage, but I can return fire here with the Sludge Bomb. They fire off another Leaf Blade. This is double resisted. I am going to be able to tank it and fire off the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb from Beedrill goes unshielded, and down goes Tropius. My opponent is probably going to go for the farm down here with Alolan Golem, and that's exactly what they do, and I fall just short of being able to reach the Drill Run. Since I stayed in for a little bit, I am going to wait my clock just to make sure that our switch clocks are back in sync. They fire off a Wild Charge. That does a solid chunk of damage, and in the back, they have Jump Bluff, so they are running double Grass Flying. Stone Edge gets the shield, and I'm going to bring in GENESECT. I do have to be mindful of a potential acrobatics, as that would do massive neutral damage. So I do shield up, and I'm going straight for the TECHNOBLAST. TECHNOBLAST will not one-shot, but it will do a ton of damage onto the Jump Bluff. Unfortunately, the game lags quite a bit, and they're going to be firing off another move. I shield up, it is another acrobatics, and I should be able to overfarm quite a bit here. So I do overfarm as much as I dare. Again, it lags, so I'm not quite sure where they're at in terms of energy. I'm able to get the final shield, and I'm going to fire off my last X-Scissor. X-Scissor will take them out, and back in comes Alolan Golem. I fire off the X-Scissor, but I accidentally throw an alignment. I gave them a free turn. I bring in Quagsire. Quagsire, not going to be able to farm down. The question is, do I live a Wild Charge? Quagsire, able to hang on, and that is a good game. And now some final thoughts on normal type TECHNOBLAST. First off, it is a definite improvement for normal GENESECT. Previously, the recommended nuke move was Magnet Bomb, and normal TECHNOBLAST is just strictly a better move. However, the fact that it's a legacy move on normal GENESECT is really unfortunate. Because even with normal TECHNOBLAST, normal GENESECT, especially in the Great League, still is not really a competitor, meaning that it's tough to recommend using an Elite TM on a Mon that's still really not going to put in a lot of work. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.